Hi, I'm Martyn, and welcome to the latest PopBucket podcast. With me today is Michael.
Hello.
James.
Hello.
And Gareth back.
Hello.
Hi again. How's everyone doing?
Very good, thank you.
Wonderful,
Good.
Wonderful.
Happy New Year to you all.
Yes, Happy New Year to you all and our readers. Hope you had a lovely Christmas and Santa was very kind to you all. Did anyone get any good gaming presents?
I got presents to myself.
Presents to yourself?
Yeah.
What was that?
Present for myself.
I treated myself to Metal Gear Solid 4,
Mm-hmm.
so I could catch up on that, which was a very nice present, actually, as it came with a poster, and I was very pleased with that.
You were pleased with yourself. You thought, Gareth, you've done a good choice here.
I did. I was like, oh, don't go.
You've surpassed yourself.
I did, yeah. The irony is I actually ended up surprising myself because there was a surprise poster in there. So I think
it's good that
result,
you weren't
really.
disappointed.
That is good. Have you got the poster in? Is it in Pride of Place? Is it above your mantle? Or?
It is. I put it in a very awkward place, and my lady friend told me off because I put it right next to the mirror, and she had to look at Ryden's ugly mug every time she put her makeup on. So it's now moved to the back of the bedpost, but I quite like it there. I can see it when I go to sleep.
Yes.
I can say goodnight to Solid Snake and rest easy knowing that he's watching over me. Cardboard box handy.
You know, if Vex is going to come past, he's going to be out there and take it down.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
So, are you enjoying Metal Gear then, Gareth?
Yeah, it's good. As I said to you guys before, I've sort of recently been making my way through them again. But I never played 4, so it's quite a new experience for me. I do feel like terrible saying that, 5 years later, being like, yeah, I'm playing Metal Gear Solid 4 when there's all these next-gen consoles out. But no, it's really good, it's just really interesting to play it and get ready for Metal Gear Solid 5 as well. But it's a great game. It's
the one after, is it after Snake Eater?
It is, yeah, and it's just...
That's the one I never played, actually.
Snake Eater!
Yeah, that's the most fabulous thing ever. I think it could be the best Metal Gear Solid opening song, because it is just so over the top. And the lyrics are, like, about the game. There's, like, a bit about eating tree frogs.
Yeah.
I can't remember that.
It's literally like...
Definitely YouTube it.
Put an artist in, and we're like, right, just sing what you see, and it's like... Pulling out a gun, got a cardboard box. Oh,
I was overjoyed in that game when I realised you could actually eat snakes. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't mentally prepared for that, and then I was like, "Ooh,
your mind was blown."
It was literally.
Ew, that's disgusting. He's eating a snake.
You can eat like spiders as well, can't you, or something? Yeah.
You can eat pretty much anything you can see.
He's a hungry man, is old Snake. He's just
yeah, and he's not too fussy about what he digs out of the ground.
No, he's like David Attenborough, but with the munchies. He's just out there feasting.
I don't. Yeah, that's quite a horrible thing to think about. Actually, Attenborough on a rager like that would be quite. terrifying.
My god! It would be terrifying to be an earthworm if that was happening. It would be like, oh no. Dave's on the rampage again.
Actually,
burrow down.
That reminds me, there's a documentary. Attenborough's been doing it for 50 odd years now.
Yeah.
On the BBC, they said, look back at his old footage. And there's him cracking open a turtle egg and then eating it or something like that.
Really?
He said, looking back at that, he cannot believe he did that sort of thing. But it's back in the 50s, 60s where he just sort of did things without much regard. Yeah, there's him like...
When he was a bit of a rogue.
This is the greatest documentary ever. Back in the 60s, we didn't really think about it. We just did stuff.
And honestly, he just went into a turtle's nest, dragged one out, and apparently because locals eat it for nutrition, because it is very healthy, he tried it himself, but he said, I couldn't imagine doing that now. It's like, the locals do it because it's sustainable.
Yeah.
But for him to do it for no need, he just said, that's a bit odd. So Attenborough could definitely be Snake Eater.
They could. They should do a compilation of all the crazy stuff he did in the past and just call it Attenborough messing up the ecosystem, stuff for fun, eating stuff he doesn't have to, just really messing things up and getting crazy.
Oh, Attenborough goes wild.
They could play really sort of menacing music behind it, couldn't they? Sort of
Or the Snake Eater theme tune,
a sort of Hammond organ or something like that.
Oh. Anyway, I don't know quite how we got down that particular conversational route, but
tangent.
I think it's probably my fault, personally. I don't know. That was Gareth's fault. Blame Gareth.
Sorry.
That's quite all right.
Enthusiasm needs to be stopped.
Enthusiasm is good. Enthusiasm is good. What was I getting enthusiastic? Yes, Future Cop LAPD. Have you guys ever played that?
I've not.
No.
Oh, well, this is going to be a shit thing to talk about then. Basically, it's like a game where you play like a bipedal walker mech kind of police unit, and you go in and blast the shit out of stuff, and it converts into a hover car. And there's a cooperative 2-player story mode, and there's a player versus player mode where you have to take over each other's bases. So it's effectively 2 games for the price of 1. And it came out on the PS1, I think, and I just got it on the PSN network. And it's been so good to have a game that is just, there's no pretext, the story's nice and fun, a bit humorous, and you can just blow shit up. And I'm enjoying it. So, yeah, I definitely recommend that.
Cool.
You sold it to me. That does sound pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I think you get it for like £8 on the PSN network. So,
well, that leads me into a big point of the news this week. Was PlayStation Now? Did you see all of that?
Yeah.
That could be pretty immense news for
it's very
gamers.
Exciting. Yeah, very exciting.
The ability to play PlayStation 1, 2, 3 games on anything from just TV to a mobile phone to PlayStation 4. But I reckon the PlayStation 5 will be just cloud-based if it's a success.
Well, they've said that, haven't they, Sony? They said about their future's not in hardware, it's in cloud gaming. And, it makes sense. Broadband's only going to get better through the years, and it's only going to become more viable that cloud gaming can be a thing, think about 10 years on, think about how fast we'll be able to download things, and, you've got a very kind of secure cloud-based gaming service then, really.
Yeah.
I think the populace will be in as you say, a better position to kind of handle cloud-based gaming in 10 years' time. I think at the moment we're on the cusp of it, and I think if they'd done it in the current generation, it would have been a little bit of a step too far for some people. But I don't see why not. It's certainly looking like that's the way it's going, isn't it?
I think this is why the PlayStation Now, with just like 1, 2, 3 games, it's a good. It's almost like a beta test for the next generation. Essentially, is how I'm seeing it. If you can do PlayStation 3 games just fine across all these devices, then I think it's going to be a great success.
To be honest, I just admire Sony's balls, to be honest, because everyone's just very, at the minute, I think people are excited about it, but everyone's just like, hang on, how is this going to work? Because obviously over in the UK, we don't have as good broadband as in the US. And so it's like, we haven't quite seen the kind of tangible possibilities of it, but I just really love Sony's ambition to it. They're just like, no, we're going to do it. This is happening. Don't care what you guys say. No, it's happening.
I think like the broadband in the US, where it's good, it's really, really good. But then you've got, I think it's something crazy, like 60% of the states don't actually have broadband. Some people are still on dial-up, so it's kind of it does make you wonder. I mean, if you think of sort of, in the deep south and sort of the Midwest, it's some quite sort of large rural kind of areas which don't really have that infrastructure in place. You kind of think, how are they going to cope with the future?
Yeah,
I think they've said they recommend 5 megabytes download speed, which is still out of reach for some people, or a fair few people actually in this country at the moment. But on the whole, that's quite an achievable download speed. So,
do you know what the kind of standard for fibre optics is? Like what you're sort of expected to have when you've got that?
I think it's 8, isn't it? Is it minimum 8 or
something like that? I'm not sure.
I think it's 8 meg. Ours is like 10, I think.
Okay.
But I don't know, apparently we can upgrade it to 15 or something, but I think fibre op is about 8 to start with.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess standard broadband doesn't sit too far underneath there, I guess. Like there's probably quite a gap.
ADSL's like it can vary, but I think the average is sort of 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 to 5 meg.
Okay.
I'm saying that like I know what I'm talking about, but I think based on experience, I think that was the kind of speeds we were on.
I'm just, as we're talking about this, doing a bit of hardcore research. Proper journalism here, guys. I just googled average UK broadband speeds, and it reached 14.7 megabits in May 2013.
40.
14.7.
Oh, 14.
Okay.
And that's the UK average.
That's the UK average. But then you've got some extremely high arid speeds that have like 100 megabyte Virgin.
If you think of like businesses as well, which would be quite a high percentage, businesses generally have a lot higher for the VDI and the VPN sort of usage. So maybe that would skew the figures a little bit.
Yeah. That's the answer there for PlayStation Now. Just scab Wi-Fi off work and games.
Take your console to work.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
in the toilet cubicle playing
Escape.
Got a fully tummy. I can't work.
You just be able to take your phone, and they said initially PlayStation, Sony devices, but I imagine they'd make it on like if you put it on an iPad, like a PlayStation Now app, you could take any device to work and have their Wi-Fi. For a fix of GTA 5 or something like that.
Yeah,
that's true. And if you've got the controller working with your iPad, which you can do with some controllers, you're sorted.
Yeah, I think it's really
quite
good.
Good.
Would you? They're talking about you pay per game method or like a Netflix style subscription.
Yeah.
I imagine it'd probably be something on top of PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, that's what I had before.
PlayStation Plus probably get a discount, but I don't imagine it would be bundled in without a price.
Be like a premium service, I suppose.
Premium serve. I reckon probably about £10 a month, I imagine.
Yeah,
it's not too bad.
This is optimistic, but I'd say £60 to £70 a year. I'd probably quite comfortably pay, but I can imagine it would probably be a lot more than that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. When it's America, it launches before the UK, so if it's $10, it'd probably be about £10 over here.
I guess you'd have to weigh up kind of, how often you'd use it as opposed to what you'd be willing to pay. So if you were going to be playing loads of games on the go and using it all the time, then you probably want to get the yearly subscription. But if you're only going to be using it for one-offs, like for the occasional thing, then a per game basis would be good. So maybe 2 payment options would be the way to go for it.
Yeah.
I'd pay good money to get my hands on the entire Ape Escape back catalogue.
Bloody Ape Escape.
That would be pretty fantastic.
It's good that we've got the running theme. James has given us like a running callback joke, basically, or a running theme throughout the whole podcast history.
It's not a joke. It's no joke.
Oh, no. I like the fact it's no joke. Ape Escape is a serious business.
Yes.
With PlayStation A, PlayStation 3, AAA blockbuster gaming on any device at any point. It's like, I just want some Ape Escape, to be honest, mate.
That'll go.
Keep it simple.
It is a classic, so I don't judge you at all.
You cannot beat
it. On a similar note, WWE are doing pretty much a similar thing. They're completely avoiding cable networks and doing their own complete channel.
Really?
Are they going on Netflix as well?
No, not Netflix. It's WWE Network. So essentially, Mike, it's a Netflix for just wrestling. And I think it's something like £6-7 a month ish. But you have to buy in 6-month blocks. But say it's £6-7 a month, you don't ever have to pay for any of the pay-per-view events ever again. That's all included. So all 13 or so of them a year, all the
That would be a good investment if you're a fan.
And all the back catalogue of all wrestling matches.
Really?
The entire archive.
What, from
every
the
single
90s?
WrestleMania, everything. Yeah.
Really? That's amazing.
Wow.
I'd love to see D-Generation X getting up to some
it is
classic antics.
The
Attitude Era,
wrestling.
Yeah.
So it's the entire back catalogue plus all new things that come out.
Does that include sort of like the kind of weekly shows like Raw and SmackDown? Would they be exclusive to that service, or are they still going to play them on Sky One?
I think no, they will still be showed on TV, but you can have it all on this service they're putting on.
That's quite good actually, and you can get your light WWE fix if you're not that diehard. But then I know there's a lot of people that do pay for the pay-per-view, so it'd probably be quite a good good investment.
Yeah, for them it would be a good investment. Yeah.
So I've got the full list here. What's included? 12 pay-per-view events, WrestleMania Rewind, which is a retrospective look at memorable moments. A television series about Monday Night Wars, WWE Legends House, a reality TV series looking at WWE Legends, pre and post shows of weekly television events, weekly airings of WWE NXT, weekly airings of WWE Superstars, and more than 1,500 hours of WWE libraries on demand streaming.
That is just a fan gold mine, isn't
and
it?
that's just what they announced there, so I don't know if it'd be more. But other things they get around is the age ratings they had to fit on TV, so they could put a bit more sort of the extremist stuff to an extent. Obviously, it doesn't go mental, but
it is kind of it's kind of weird. Like we were watching it the other week I think it was on like Saturday mornings, and it was like the roundup of all the goings on. But literally every time they sort of go to hit someone with a chair or something, they just cut to like a member of the audience. You hear this like cracking sound, and then just see this guy's face. It's like, ooh,
going, oh.
So all that for not much money at all.
Yeah,
that is pretty cool.
And it'd be available on everything from PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Amazon's devices, Android, iOS, on everything.
Yeah, it'd be quite cool to have that on the consoles. The focus on consoles for me has always seemed to be UFC, which I've never really gotten into, but they've always kind of plugged that really heavily on the consoles with sort of a bit of a wrestling gap, I thought. That'd be good to see. It's not something I'll invest in because
I watched it.
Wrestling when I was like,
it's a phase, isn't it, for most people?
Yeah, it's a phase. Like me and Mike, when we played the games a hell of a lot at the time. Watch it now and again, but that was a phase more than anything like that.
And it was more like the games
WrestleMania on the N64. That was good.
Oh wow!
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, but we used to play SmackDown on the PS1, and it's just a great multiplayer game where it's not like you don't have to be fantastically skilled at it to have fun. It's kind of more about the carnage and the mayhem, wondering what the bloody hell is going on here.
Mike's always been better at those games than me, but when so Mike's going up at the top of a ladder to claim the belt, and then I just run into the ladder and Mike falls down. It's just hilarious, isn't it?
It's quite funny. Like the accidental stuff, some of the funniest, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, like the cage matches. Oh, it was really good fun, that. And that, along with This Is Football Tiff.
Yes, yeah.
It's tear-inducing hilarity at times.
Because you could dive and also go in for like really dodgy two-footed tackles in that game as well. So the amount of
that
times,
anymore, do they?
No. I think they should bring that back in football games: the ability to dive and also to go in for like a horror tackle. That'd be amazing.
They keep saying, "Oh, it was more advanced, it's more lifelike than ever before," but diving is unfortunately like fairly sort of prolific in games. It's in there enough for it to be considered as a feature.
Hello, Ashley. Ashley Young going over again.
Fine art, isn't it, these days? They've turned it into an art form.
And it was an art
form. You almost do want to hold
up
a scorecard for it, don't you? It's like,
well,
that's quite good. It's like twist in mid-air as well, so it's an extra point for difficulty. Yeah.
So, they should do that. It's a shame, but anyway, have you been... James, did you get anything from for Christmas?
I did. I got actually. Brother-in-law bought me the first series of Breaking Bad, which is
very good.
Because we've been saying for a while we better give it another chance. Like it's had some really good write-ups. We only really watched the pilot like about 2 years ago or whatever. So I'm quite looking forward to getting my teeth into that. I think having it on DVD will be easier for me because I can just press play all episodes and just vegetate with it. So yeah.
To be honest, the first series is quite slow in comparison to the rest. I think it's really season 2 where it starts to kick off. So I'm sure you'll see a kind of noticeable kind of jump on it.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it, actually. Like all the hype has kind of got me quite excited for it. So
I very much liked it. I think You will too. Sophie, the wife, she said it's the worst thing she's ever watched.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that just
that's a
the
harsh
pilot?
indictment.
No, she watched about 3 or 4 episodes and said she can't stand to watch it anymore.
Yeah.
Because
So
it
she
was
was-
too depressing. Or...
I watched that on the laptop and she watched Geordie Shore.
See, that's
Well, there you
probably
go.
the worst thing I've ever watched.
Yeah, that's what I said, but oh well.
But
Quality television right there. Just really great drama. Well written.
You can't realer than real life.
Got the Partridge film as well, which we watched the other day.
Oh,
That's
brilliant.
really good.
Fantastic.
Oh, I had far too much fun watching that film.
It's
That-
fantastic.
Still
That is just
not
the
seen
gag
it yet.
rate, the hit rate on the gags in that movie is amazing. It's at least 2 a minute, I think.
It churns it out, doesn't it?
It
Every
is
second you're cackling at something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I need to watch it again, really, because you spend so much time laughing. I think you miss like half the jokes. Really.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I've
Yeah,
got to get it. I've got to get it on DVD because, like, just to go back over and like, I'm sure there's things I missed as well because you only see it once. And
some of the deleted scenes were quite funny on the DVD because, like, we watched it through. And we were like, let's watch the deleted scenes, which I never do on DVDs. But I was like, oh, it's got to be done. And there's some interesting stuff actually, like slightly alternate ending and different sort of twists in the plot, which they obviously thought we'll leave that out, but quite good also. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it.
Good.
I'm just ashamed it's taken me this long to watch it. You should get on the case, Martyn. You'll love it.
Yeah, I know.
Definitely.
Right, if you buy it, you should bring it down and then watch it with me and Hods.
aha! Yes, okay.
That would be planned. Yeah, I still haven't seen it. I've been meaning to, but I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
We did we watched Knowing Me, Knowing Yule as well over Christmas, which is
I watched that as well over
Annual.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Great
annual
stuff.
tradition in the Sterling
Oh.
household. That's a
That is
classic,
so
isn't it,
funny.
Gareth?
Yeah.
just memories coming back now when he goes am I ever going to work in television again or something like that. He goes no, and he goes all right, and he just smacks him with the turkey.
Yeah, the commissioner for the BBC.
Yeah.
Great.
Do you want some?
Do any of you on Twitter follow Accidental Partridge?
Yes.
Yes.
That is
yes, I do.
hilarious sometimes. And some of the things that come up on that is bloody brilliant.
Richard Madeley's got quite a good hit rate on that. Funnily enough, they quite a lot of Richard Madeley's Twitter account actually makes Accidental Partridge. I think I've seen him on there once or twice.
There's one yesterday of David Cameron standing the exact same way Alan Partridge stands. Sort of, he's looking out the window. He's like leaning on a windowsill. He's just way standing. It's just in its own way. It's not funny. You just see it as a picture of David Cameron standing on a windowsill.
Yeah,
Next
but
window.
you know,
But when
you know the
someone
character.
said Alan Partridge, it's like one of the funniest things I laughed at yesterday. It's brilliant.
I'll have to check that out actually.
Yeah, it's like Accidental Partridge.
Good account.
Yeah. But no, I've what else? Oh, I bought myself a couple of gifts. I downloaded the Halo Spartan Assault actually
cool.
on the Xbox One. That was
Is that
pretty
good?
cool. It's really good actually. I mean, it's nothing like other Halo games. So it's like a top-down kind of twin stick shooter, like the old kind of. I don't know if you remember Alien Inside on the PC. It was like a sort of like a twin sticker.
Is it like the oldest kind of twin sticker would be like Smash TV, like it's top down view, and you have like you spray your ammunition out in all different directions?
That's right, yeah, like
Yeah,
that, and like Loaded as well. From I don't know if you remember that.
Oh
from
yeah,
PS1. Yeah, it's much like that. You can do sort of co-op, but yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's sort of I think it's looking at the period of time in between sort of Halo 3 and Halo 4. But you're not focusing on the Master Chief. You're looking at the sort of the storyline between Spartan Palmer, who was in sort of Halo 4. But yeah, no, it's really, really good fun actually. A lot more fun than sort of I envisioned it would be, and quite good in terms of you've got sort of hidden objectives that you can achieve. So there's sort of a score that you get, and you can quite a lot of replay value. But yeah, amazing graphics.
I think spin-offs are always a bit of a concern for fans, isn't it? You just think it's kind of been churned out and not necessarily much care been into it. But it's good when you can have something like that really does prove you wrong. And you're like, no, it's good. So
yeah, I mean, it started out as a Windows Surface game, so it was like a tablet game, really.
Yeah.
But they've done a good job sort of porting it over to the Xbox One in terms of sort of graphical improvements, and the controls are quite neat as well. So yeah, it's very good. I'd recommend it if you're in need of a little arcade fun on the Xbox One.
She'll have to give that a look. Definitely, yes. Been a while since I've had a nice twin stick top down shooter thing. It's nice to get a little bit of like mindless kind of blasting going away, and then also some of them are quite tactical as well, with like smart weapons that you deploy and stuff. So
yeah, this one you can sort of upgrade your weapons to you can get obviously the Halo sort of arsenal, which is like sniper rifles, rocket launchers, things like that. And obviously pick up your enemy's weapons as you go, but yeah, it does get quite tricky. It does get quite tactical. I mean, like any Halo game, there's a massive sort of variety of enemies, and they all take a bit of a different way of sort of tackling. But yeah, it's good fun. It's good fun.
Jolly good. Yeah, it also sounds like you got quite a good thing. I managed now to, because I got the Xbox One, although that was like a combined present from about 4 different people, plus financial contributions from myself. So it wasn't a good thing, but it's good. I like it. Although, have you seen the last few days, some guy's Xbox One gamer tag is Xbox sign out?
Yes. Masterful trolling. Absolutely fantastic.
Was that video I sent you the same one?
Yeah, it's the same one you sent me.
That was brilliant.
So, Mike, have you seen that?
No.
Well, with Connect, obviously everyone has it sort of plugged in generally now. So if you say Xbox sign out, it brings up a menu. Do you want to sign out of the Xbox?
I see.
But when, say, you got in this video, you got people playing Call of Duty, and most of them actually sound about 10 in that video. I think it shows
sort of 12-year-olds, isn't it? The
Yeah.
demographic there's pretty young.
So, so you got these kids like, oh, Xbox sign out, get out of the way. And it's like, oh, no. It's like,
So you've
hey,
got
Xbox sign out. It's like, oh, no, man. That's a horrible gamer tag. It's like that sort of thing.
The funniest one was the guy was sort of blocking this kid in the corner so he couldn't move, and just slashing him with his knife. And he went, Xbox sign out, get out the way. Uh-oh. I'll send you the link.
But
it is brilliant.
Someone's just set one up now, Xbox turn off.
Yeah.
And that's taking level 5. Because if you're like, say that quickly, and you're like playing around the analog sticks and hitting the buttons, you could like...
Chances are you're going to whack it off, aren't you? Yeah, it's not good.
I'd have found that pretty amusing. But...
there's a lot of places you can go with that, I think, because there's so many different commands on Xbox One, isn't there? So I'm sure we'll see a few more people making very good use of it.
Yeah, I don't know if Microsoft would sort of step in and say, nah, you got to change it, mate. That's too bad. I don't know if it violates terms and conditions in any way. Because you're not allowed like things like homophobic things, racist things as your gamer tag. I don't know if that would
they could quite easily
write it in,
yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah.
It's
But
hugely annoying gamer tags.
Yeah. But I like the fact that at least that normal trolling is quite boring, but that's quite creative.
Yeah, that was a bit
Yeah. The guy's a bit of a visionary in that sense.
I think what makes it so funny, like if that was on like Halo 4, I know Halo 4 is not on Xbox One, but if it was, he'd be condemned as a poor sportsman, wouldn't he? And you'd be very, very concerned about it. You'd be very British about it, wouldn't you? Be like, no, that's not on at all sport. But because it's Call of Duty, we're just like, and then they do have the worst fans in the world on there. Don't they? I mean, I used to quite like Call of Duty, and I still do play occasionally now. But they really do have the worst fans. There's just something absolutely spot on about them, just terrorising those fans.
Call of Duty, it brings out the worst in you, because I've played Call of Duty and I just turned into a bit of a dick on it. Whereas Halo, I'm sort of like quite a respectable gentleman with tactics in mind.
I say, old boy, that's a nice kill. Well done.
I
shall endeavour as opposed to Call of Duty, which is probably unspeakable in terms of what you'd be saying. Yeah.
Oh, it's just war crimes all the way. Like I've just committing atrocities wherever I go.
War crimes of the mouth.
Yeah. So,
War crimes to the mouth. Yeah.
Well, that'd be interesting about Titanfall, because obviously that's made by the Call of Duty guys. But
Yeah.
those fans are in uproar that it's like 6v6
Oh
in terms of
God,
human
yeah,
players.
that's really irritated me. Like, it's just, more players doesn't mean better. Like, look at the classic Splinter Cell multiplayer. You've got 2v2, and it was some of the best multiplayer ever.
Yeah.
It's about quality, not quantity, isn't it? And
Yeah.
Damn
it's just
straight.
got total madness. And I mean,
It's
look
true.
at some of the bigger Battlefield games. It just becomes too crazy, doesn't it? And
There's in
Yeah,
those bigger games.
There's an element of fun to that, but at the same time, if you're looking at a test of skill, like most first-person shooters these days include a clan option where you just go like 4v4, and there's a reason that the clans do that, because if you are a specialist and you're looking for a challenge, you're probably not going to find it in a 12v12 deathmatch. So
yeah, I mean, Battlefield's got sort of, I think it's squad v squad, so it's like 4v4 mode, which is quite, it's a little bit more tight. The levels are smaller. But if you want that sort of all-out warfare, you can do the 64 player, which is just, it is carnage. You don't last very long,
and it's fun.
No matter how sort of strategic you are, you just get sniped by one of 30 snipers.
It's about it being appropriate to the game, isn't it? Like with Battlefield, you have this all-out war experience, so having that many players makes sense. But with Titanfall, it's they've got some quite interesting things going on, and it's got slightly more intricate mechanics to the game. And I just don't think it would work with loads of players. So
we played sort of, I think it was 18 player in September on Titanfall, and it seemed quite nuanced. It was quite busy then. So I was kind of struggling to imagine how it was going to work with more players.
Well, when you can run up walls and bounce, sort of double jump, it was pretty chaotic. So I imagine it just refined it so it's better. Because otherwise, if you had like 64 players on that, it'd be crazy. You wouldn't know what was going on.
Which just you kind of your eyes would constantly be on the sky. I think.
I think.
Yeah, imagine that all those people running up the walls would be like some sort of odd Studio Ghibli film or something, wouldn't it? Miyazaki madness.
I think the developers came out and said, "Oh, when you start playing Titanfall, like Titanfall should be played, you understand why we've gone for this number." And I think that makes perfect sense. It's not a Battlefield game, so it doesn't need that many people. You play it like how it should be played, and that's it. That's how it should be. You don't need ridiculous number of people.
No,
and if you don't want it, just don't buy it. You don't need to scream.
Yeah. It's not like the market is
like
it's not like the market doesn't have enough FPSs that will be able to cater to your needs. So I welcome the fact that they're doing something slightly different. So be interested to see how it turns out. Definitely.
I don't know what the big deal is. I mean, Call of Duty on the Xbox One and the PS4 doesn't have that many players.
No, but it's fine. It stops
it's fine.
It stops dying every 5 seconds, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you die enough on Call of Duty anyway. You don't want to up that ratio.
No.
By any means.
Well, you look not to, but it's not always possible.
Yeah. No, I'm really looking forward to Titanfall though. It's kind of it's kind of one of the games that I'm really kind of holding out for in the shooting genre. I picked up Battlefield and I thought, maybe I'll get COD for comparison's sake, but I thought, I don't know if I can really be bothered. I think I'll just wait till Titanfall.
I'm looking forward to The Division, Ubisoft's new game.
That does look cool.
Is that Tom Clancy?
Yeah, it is a Tom Clancy. It's a new. I don't know what. Yeah, because what's a proper word? I'm trying to think what it's called. Franchise. That's it. Thank you, James. It's like a new one of theirs. So. Sort of,
it's like an open worldy thing, isn't it?
MMO,
Yeah.
Open world sort of third-person shooter thing.
Sounds curious.
It looks like they're actually going to use second screen functionality quite interestingly as well. Because I don't know about you guys. I mean, other than say like remote play on the Vita, like a lot of second screen stuff just seems so gimmicky and hasn't really been incorporated in a kind of really meaningful way. And most of them are just like companion apps, isn't it? And it's like, oh, look at the map for Assassin's Creed 4 on your tablet. And it's just like, well, maybe I can just press the back
That is
button
really good though. I think on the Assassin's Creed because you can set a waypoint in real time,
Okay.
and you can do your naval missions while you're doing another mission. You can do quite a lot on that companion app.
Okay,
But
all right, well,
that's the best one I've seen.
Bad example from me,
But I know what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of them do seem a bit gimmicky. But yeah, the second screen stuff, it's like you can be on the go, and you can sort of do airstrikes and things from your tablet or your device, or whatever, and like affect people who are playing online, like on the go, basically, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, it's going to be
A lot of promise, isn't it? I think that's kind of the interesting thing is so many people have got tablets and smartphones now that actually it's a lot more sort of accessible than it used to be. Things like that. Things like that used to be a little bit specialist, but now, yeah, it's a lot more mainstream. So you can do a lot more with it.
Use the companion app in Dead Rising 3, James. See what you think of that.
Oh, is that the telephone call?
You get telephone calls come through, and when you get little missions, then pop up from that.
Oh, right.
So it's like you don't, if you don't use companion app, you don't get these missions.
Oh,
So you get a few extra exclusive things there, and I think you can bring in an airstrike on that as well.
I did read that actually. Yeah.
And it's the only way you can get those little weapon caches that is dotted around the city.
Oh, it gives you the locations for them.
You see them generally, but you got to get the keys or like the unlock code. So they're coming to their own now. These companion apps.
I saw some of your pictures about Dead Rising. Actually, there's a lot of zombies going on.
It's ridiculous the number of zombies. Yeah,
the guy warned us that, like, sort of, I think towards the end it just gets like silly for zombies. One of the developers was saying it's just a big tech demo, really.
Yeah. Part of Dead Rising at points it's like the pop-ins is like really, really bad. It's like worse than a lot of PS3 games I've seen. Xbox 360 games, like things that's materialised meters in front of you. But
San Andreas.
yeah, that's one of the worst actually in the games a long time. Of the new one, Grand Theft Auto 5, and it's in cutscenes as well, which boggle my mind. What? It'd be fine in cutscenes.
It's bad news, isn't it?
Have you not seen that? I walked in. No? The character walked in the scene, and there was not a single piece of furniture in there. And then the sofa popped up, then a picture frame, then a lampshade.
I had that. I think
pretty shoddy.
Was that in the psychiatrist's office?
One was the psychiatrist's office. One was some apartment with Trevor's mate.
Oh, right. That happened to me as well. It's just sort of the sofa kind of faded into view, which was kind of like, ooh.
It was appalling. It was a bare empty
That's bizarre.
Yeah, so that was bad. But yeah, the promise of Dead Rising 3, where you've got a huge world, thousands of things on screen, although they pop in a bit late, some of them, with no loading times, that is good.
Yeah.
It's the future.
What's the actual gameplay? I mean, does it have like good flesh on the bones? Not to use the zombie metaphor.
I really did enjoy it. You've actually got time to play the game and do all the missions.
Because that was the major bugbear that we had with the previous ones. Because you can't really explore everything the first time round, which is good in terms of making you come back for it. But you almost feel like you're kind of pushed to do the main missions, and you can't really go off and explore and because part of the fun of the game when I played it with you, Marty, was like just dressing up in ridiculous clothing and smacking a zombie with a fruit
tricycle.
Machine. Or on a tricycle. Yeah.
I completed the whole thing, pretty much every single mission and side mission.
Yeah.
With less than half the time needed.
Yeah.
Or available to you.
Oh,
so I had a lot of spare time. But it's good fun. It's not quite as humorous. It's slightly more serious, although there are comedic elements, you still get funny clothes. It's a bit more serious tale. But yeah, go around with your motorbike combined with a steamroller. Flattening hundreds or thousands of zombies at a time. on the highway.
That
sounds like fun.
It is good fun. It's a very good game.
I liked that I think on the old Dead Rising games, whenever you spoke to someone, it was just text at the bottom of the screen. I like that they've sort of done away with that, and now it's actually voice acting.
Yeah, it's all it's all properly done now. They've made an effort to sort of polish up in every single aspect, really. I imagine the technical issues with it is because they had so little time with the final Xbox One development kits. They couldn't polish it off, which is understandable. It's impossible to do it perfectly by any means. But yeah, it's very good. I very much enjoyed it. If it wasn't for the technical issues, like the pop-in, I probably would have given it an 8. But I can understand why it had to be given a 7, because it's nowhere near next-gen visual fidelity. But Ryse, though, my word, is that pretty at times.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
It's I think, prettier than Shadowfall. And
wow.
Yeah,
Shadowfall's pretty fantastic.
That's pretty fantastic at times. But although Shadowfall has some of its sort of darker levels.
Yeah, it doesn't really show off next gen when it's all dark, is it?
No, it doesn't.
Kind of the best bits for me for the graphics were like the early levels in the game where you're kind of introduced to great big forests across the landscape, and you could see the city glowing in the sun, and it didn't really look like it was background texture. You know, it looked like it was kind of really there.
Yeah, those daytime levels looked immense in Shadowfall, and Ryse has a lot of them. When you're walking around, you've got the Colosseum, you've got the light bouncing off sculptures and things like that.
I quite like the foresty level where you've got the light sort of dappling through the leaves in the canopy. I found that quite impressive.
Yeah, that is a...
And some of those windswept kind of beachy levels were cool as well.
It's technically a very impressive game. And if they can do that with launch constraints, and we can imagine what it's going to look like by the end of the generation.
Yeah, it's true. It bodes well.
Does bode well.
Yeah, we played a bit of co-op over, when was it? Christmas? New Year's, maybe?
27th, just after Boxing Day.
That's cool. What's the co-op
through
like?
the main story mode?
No, it's like like an arena type thing. So it's in the Colosseum. It's quite simple, really, isn't it, Martyn? You just basically get loads of different objectives and hundreds of barbarians, and you just have to kind of slash your way through them. But you can do sort of double finishes, which is quite fun. So one of you will like hold them, and the other one will cut their throat, which is nice.
It's what every man wants, isn't it?
That's what friends are for.
That's what builds a friendship, isn't it? But,
slitting throats.
Yeah, but it's quite good fun. There's quite a lot of different arenas that you can do. Although we ended up playing the same one like twice in a row, didn't we? Somehow.
Yeah. So, that was a bit odd what happened, but I thought it was alright actually. It's the combat's quite like Batman Arkham games on the whole, but it's good. It is a little bit repetitive in some ways, but it's very promising for what games will be coming soon. Actually, Gareth, what you're saying about the darker levels didn't show off graphics so well. We're looking forward to where the new Alien Isolation game, when it can do what Dead Space sort of 1 and 2 did, but with the next gen games engines and aliens, with all the lighting coming through the fans, little scurrying, little the flashing yellow warning lights.
It looks very good. I think to me it looks like Slenderman and Ridley Scott. You know, that's what speaks to me when I see that, which is a great combination. But I think the most fantastic thing about it is the fact that after Colonial Marines, you know, I mean, Alien franchise, I know it has always had a really mixed history in games, but for once, I kind of felt with Colonial Marines, like, gosh, no one's going to touch this for a while, and we're all very disappointed and that. But Isolation, like, you know, you can see on Twitter, everyone is genuinely quite excited about an Alien game again. Bit hesitant, maybe, after the tragedy of Colonial Marines, but it's exciting, really. And I think what's exciting about it is it does look like it's actually going to really try and do something about the franchise, you know, because I think Colonial Marines were excited because, you know, they had the license and they had access to all these different assets and things, which meant they could have given an authentic Aliens experience, but they didn't, because the gameplay just didn't match it, did it? I mean, I know Aliens
not at all.
I know Aliens is like, you know, it's much more gun blazing than the first film, but you know, it wasn't like the game, you know, that was just ridiculous, wasn't it? So
well, there was not enough aliens and a few too many mercenaries, which is kind of a bit
it's not really what you want to be doing when you're playing the Aliens game, fighting.
Not really.
the corporation, like
faceless mercs, just like, yeah.
And also, it seems a bit like an analogy of the Alien series, because that started out with, obviously James Cameron made a very good sequel in an actiony way, and that still retains some of the horror of the original. But the original is all about, it's like a haunted house movie in space, basically, is what people say. And the thing that excites me about Isolation is it's using all of the tools that we have in the gaming medium to try and get that atmosphere across. And that would be like, because I can't remember the last time I was genuinely sort of scared playing a game, and this could be, this could be the one. So I'm really, but obviously a bit hesitant, but no positivity at the same time. So we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah. I just like the idea of what Slenderman and Ridley Scott's baby would look like.
Oh yeah, that would be creepy.
With
faceless, no face, but very creative. So
as hang on, what Slenderman Ridley Scott baby? Alien Isolation. I was onto something else now.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll talk about something.
Yeah,
anyway,
go on, Mike.
I was looking at just what I've been watching on Netflix recently, and I don't know if you guys have heard of a guy called US stand-up called Mark Maron. He's basically like a stand-up comedian, and he's like one of the like top tier guys over there, and he's got his own TV show now called Maron, which is about him doing podcasts from his garage, which is what he does in real life, and it's all about him being sort of bitter and at odds with the world, so very much my kind of thing. And so the first episode is he tracks down an internet troll who's been giving him grief, and goes to try and actually see what it would be like to confront him face to face, and it doesn't go well for Mark. But yeah, it's one of the things where I've watched the opening episode, definitely watch some more, so I could recommend that. But I just wondered what you guys have been sort of watching on on stream and stuff.
I started watching 30 Rock again.
Yeah.
I loved that, but I stopped.
You love your 30 Rock, don't you?
Yeah, I watched the first 4 series like a couple of years ago, but then I stopped, and then I've started with season 4 again on Netflix. And I just remember how hilarious it is. I'm up to series 5 now, and it's just rekindled my sort of slight crush on Liz Lemon.
Liz Lemon. she is a nice looking lady, Tina Fey. So I don't blame you. She is.
It's the like she says, it's like how she likes food and things like that, and like a lot of TV shows how they make girls don't eat that much, but Liz Lemon, she just like eats pizzas and things like that, and doesn't care about things like look so much. It's just always sort of jokes. It's
like the girl next door sort of.
Yeah, exactly.
Realistic.
It's bloody funny though. And that's cool. Like every character in that. Alec Baldwin's character, Liz Lemon's character, that Pete Hornberger. That blonde girl who's in the new Fourth American Pie movie.
Amy Poehler? No,
the young blonde girl, long hair. Just her. She's the attractive one. You got the guy with the hat with a different thing on it every day, every episode. They've all got different characters that are just funny in their own ways. I like Grizz and .com in their own way. And it's like, they're above the clouds. It was the nursery for giants, above the beanstalk, whatever it's called. And it's just everything's about it is brilliant.
I remember I saw, because I haven't seen very many episodes, but I saw one where Alec Baldwin plays like the network executive, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he's actually really funny in it. And he pitched the episode I saw. He pitched an idea and it got rejected. And he pretended to be cool about it, but he really wasn't cool about it. You know what I mean? And it was just, he go, no, I'm fine about it, and closing the door behind, and just to see Alec Baldwin, who you're thinking, the guy who's played, what's the name of that Tom Clancy character? But anyway,
Jack
the guy.
Ryan, was it?
Yeah, he's played Jack Ryan. He's known for like doing action movie stuff, and to see him sort of whimpering in the corner is kind of funny. Just the context of that is funny. So yeah,
it is.
I will have to give the rest of the series a look, definitely.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Every episode is funny. It's good because it's a bit of a parody as well because of Tina Fey's Saturday Night Live days.
Yeah, because
And-
Tina Fey used to write for Saturday Night Live, didn't she? So
Yeah.
part of it is based on a parody of like what the craziness of trying to come up with new material for every week.
And it's also like loads of jabs at like NBC Universal and how they're owned by a wig company. And how how NBC are rubbish at programming and things like that. It's like a bit like with Simpsons having to go to Fox, and Rupert Murdoch is like the Emperor from Star Wars.
You've saved our network.
It's the same thing.
Wouldn't be the
like
first
that.
time. I love that quote.
Yeah, and how Fox satellites hung up with helium air balloons and things like that. It's always little jokes that sort of Tina Fey also does for NBC Universal. It's a great show. Also, Boardwalk Empire. So I keep calling it the wrong thing. That's
Broadwalk Empire.
There's a place near not near my house. There's a place in Bristol called Broadwalk. It's it's not much of an empire. It's a really crummy sort of 1970s shopping centre.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Fans of depression come to Broadwalk.
Yeah.
Hey, it's on the billboard
They
outside.
should rebrand it as the Broadwalk Empire. That might actually bring in some custom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some mistaken custom, but you might get, as long as you get the person in there, well, hey, might as well
All
pick
about
up
sales. Just getting the sales.
Yeah.
That's all they need.
Put them on the map.
They've renamed King's Langley as King's Landing.
Yeah, I remember
Really?
that.
It's
That's
a
good.
PR
To
stunt.
promote the DVD.
Yeah, from New Game of
that's-
Thrones.
That's quite good.
Yeah. PR renaming things never is always used. It will never stop being used for the rest of time. Renaming places for product launches. It's,
Tell you, talking about
It's
PR,
classic.
did you ever see when the Olympics came and we had a sitcom called 2012, which was all about the team,
That's good.
the delivery team. Jessica Hines was amazing in that as the PR lady. If you remember Jessica Hines from Spaced and the various other things she's done. No, that sounds really bitchy. I'm sorry, but no, she's brilliant in that. And if you just YouTube a couple of like clips of her as the PR lady and just the way that she's like, yep, no, yep, okay, no, yeah, and completely not listening to what the other person is telling her.
yeah. I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
I've got all that down.
And then she says completely the opposite. It's
But did you know
Definitely
they're
worth
doing
a
a
look.
new series of that? Well, a spin-off series, Mike, of 2012.
Yeah, I did hear it's not going to be about the Olympics delivery team this time, is it?
They're rebranding or redoing the BBC.
Yeah,
So sort of a bit more sort of
Topical.
satirical,
Yeah.
topical, things like that. So that should be quite good. But I did enjoy 2012. I didn't watch all of it.
yeah,
I
was
saw
a very
bits and
good-
pieces.
It was a very good show.
yeah, it was, yeah.
So,
Sounds like a good concept for comedy, actually. Sounds funny.
no, it is good. It won quite a few awards, didn't it?
Yeah,
There's some big actors in it from sort of other things as well, like The
Yeah.
Office.
the guy
and-
out of Downton Abbey, is in it, yeah.
With Sophie from Peep Show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course,
Yeah.
Olivia Colman.
Yeah, I forgot all their names.
The other bloke out of Peep Show, the guy who played the guy with curly hair in Peep Show, I think he was in it as well as the traffic expert.
Guy
think.
with curly hair.
Yeah, Martyn from Peep Show. I think he was like the. This is not leading anywhere, but he was the character that was like the clueless doctor, because you had Dr. Mac and then you had Dr. McCartney and then you had the other guy who played by Stephen Manahan and then you had Martyn who was like kind of in the middle. Yeah, I'm going to stop.
That's not
talking
ringing any
some
bells
more
whatsoever.
myself. Yeah,
No, I don't remember them.
We've got the last series of Peep Show this year, so hope.
Is it out this year?
Yeah, they said it'll for 2014.
It's usually like February time. It usually comes out.
Yeah, something like that normally.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. So hopefully it's up on a high.
yes.
Would you like to see Jez sort of move out, get his own little life, and be successful?
No,
would you want it
no
to
one
end?
wants to see that.
Would you want to see them back on the sofa? The last scene, them on the sofa with Megatron reassembled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably how it's going to end. Yeah,
It's got to complete the circle, hasn't it? Really, and sort of end how it started. I would hope.
Yeah.
Like sort of two ways with it, couldn't they? They could do the kind of typical like nice ending, or but I think kind of the whole point of Peep Show is like no matter what, like Mark and Jeremy are just two different ways in which you can just be a total loser. And I think the whole point about them is they just don't succeed, do they? So I don't know. I think it would be probably quite a bit more appropriate to the TV show if it just ended like with them just not going anywhere, basically.
Yeah,
so,
that's where the
do
comedy
seem
comes
from. Sort of their souls are kind the bound together really for eternity.
Yeah,
There's no escape.
the LD brothers.
The old brothers.
The thing that got me into that was the one of the very first episodes in the first series, and it's just that thing where he's got a toaster in front of him and he's got a fork, and he's like going down. And if this was the Crusher from Star Wars, he's looking at the toaster, and I could only save my mum and my dad. Which one would I save? And I thought, there's no way you could get that in any other comedy show because no one would ever say that out loud, or he's just sitting in the room by himself. So
there's so many funny bits. I like when Jez gets a pizza slices put through a letterbox, but then the brushes scrape off the toppings. The snake in the salad spinner. There's just so many
Super
great
Hands.
The Super Hands is one of the best sort of side supporting characters of any show ever created, I think.
When he steals the chocolate, gives it just yummy. Yeah, the secret ingredient is crime.
I was thinking about the other day when they were eating that dog, that woman's dog. And,
God. That is the worst episode, isn't it? Like, it's hilarious, but it's probably the one bit where they're like, that is so outrageous.
Yeah, you just think, I can't believe he's actually going to eat it. He is actually eating it.
I love it. He's saying, I really feel very strongly, since I'm eating some chicken, you should eat some chicken as well. Like that.
Yeah, that's a big chicken.
Yeah, last series was okay, but it didn't really hit the high points for me. So I'm hoping they can go off. They can send off with a bang, really. Although I do like the character of the IT girl, Dobby. She's quite funny.
Yeah, Dobby's really cool. Yeah. I hope they get together.
Definitely.
One of the funniest things from the last series was how what's the guy who died?
Gerard.
How Gerard keeps coming back from the dead to mess up Mark's plans. It's a bloody Mark again. It's causing me grief and he's died. It's brilliant that. But I'm looking forward to that last series. It should be good. The old Do brothers. Hopefully back in the little rig with Megatron. That's how it should end. Watching that guy painting, I can't remember that artist.
Yeah, they were initially planning to have more of them commenting on TV throughout the series, but they never did. That was kind of a one-off throwaway gag that they did, and they said let's put God on. If God's painting this, then I'll call that. It's that guy with the white beard.
Yeah. Anyway, that will do for the day. It's been nearly an hour now, so. What's a good first podcast of 2014, I feel.
Yeah.
Many more this year with a lot of exciting games to talk about and lots of films. There's a lot happening this year. Witcher 3, Evolve, Mad Max.
Metal Gear Solid 5, Dark Souls 2, or could have a lot to say about Dark Souls 2.
Elder Scrolls Online.
Dark Souls 2.
Elder Scrolls Online, the new Spider-Man, things like that. There's a lot of
Titanfall, we got the Tomb Raider again.
Got the last Hobbit film.
Oh yeah.
That'll be interesting.
2015 is a bigger year for film, but we got a while till we had to discuss that.
Yeah, we can build up to that.
Jurassic World and things.
The film cast.
Yeah, the film cast. 2015. We do that. Well, put it in the diary, lads, and we'll get that sorted.
Sorted.
Right.
I'll book it off work.
Wonderful. So yes, that's it from me this week, and it's goodbye from James, Michael, and Gareth.
See you guys.
Bye.
See ya.